Alright, this is another difficult video, but if we are happy to cover the easy stuff, that just means the hard stuff is even more important. So let's go to the hat stand, put on our serious hats, and get to this. But on a Raw recently, Dean Ambrose turned heel. He had just won the Tag Team Championship with his best friend, his brother, Seth Rollins, before he decided he didn't want any of this anymore, and he betrayed the Intercontinental Champion right there in the ring. And to be fair to Dean Ambrose, it was one of the best performed turns I've seen in years. The man just gets it, and he absolutely gets his character too. However, given what else happened on this episode of WWE's flagship program, well, this turn has divided the internet. Why? Here's why. Let me start by saying that I am very much a politician when it comes to this topic, in the sense that I'm kind of sat in the middle and I can see both sides. Also, your opinion is going to be swayed. It's going to be influenced by about 2,000 different things and how those little things make you feel in your soul and your heart and your gut. So with that said, let's just try and keep everything positive and let's try and keep everything nice, or pan. Positive and nice. But yes, given that WWE chose here to turn Ambrose, and that we also got that quote on commentary by Michael Cole where he said, "No Dean, not on this night," or words to those effect, you have to assume that the idea here was meant to be that not only had Dean Ambrose gone bad, but he'd also done it on the evening where Roman Reigns had revealed he is battling with leukemia. While not overly direct, it certainly seemed like the company was using that to try and give this more impact. Understandably, that raised a few eyebrows. Taking the context out of it for a second, however, and it worked. Dean was absolutely hated by the fans when all was said and done. If you saw his social media clip when he left the arena, he was getting booed and people were swearing at him. And because Dean Ambrose is such a good pro wrestler, he's probably going to be able to take this and make sure it's pasted across city to city. Wherever he goes, he'll be managed to get that kind of, well, disdain. Even within these 5 minutes, he was absolutely fantastic, and it's more evidence that Ambrose still really is underrated, or hasn't exactly been used to the best of his abilities within Vince McMahon's operation, I'll call it today. Vinnie Mac's operation. However, you can't live outside the context bubble, and one of the reasons it did get such a big reaction is because only hours earlier we had received some of the worst news in WWE history, and on top of that, it related to Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins' friend. In short, the point has been raised that this was insensitive by the WWE as they take real life situations and weave them in to the world of fiction. I can completely understand that. That is a tough thing to process. Wrestling is meant to be entertainment, and bringing in life and death scenarios to fuel that forward, well, it's questionable at best. This goes even further when you hear those mumblings, those rumours that apparently this turn was always on the cards, but it wasn't going to happen till Survivor Series and was brought forward because, again, everything that happened on Raw. Additionally, given how happy the fans were when the Shield did indeed win the World Tag Team Championships, maybe the best bet here would have just been allowed the audience to go home and feel a little bit of happiness. All of those are fair points, and I don't really think you can argue them. Then there is the other side, and all of these are legit thoughts that have been sent to me via social media or thrown into my face in some sense, which is what encouraged me to make this video. The conversation was happening in front of my eyes, so I felt some kind of duty to throw it out there. The big one is that surely all of this depends what Roman Reigns thinks about it. No one knows what chats happened behind the scenes, and nor do we have any right to, but if Roman was broached with this idea, he went through it and he was cool with it, then from my vantage point, it's beyond criticism. And when I say me, I literally mean me, my opinion, the way I feel about life and the way I feel about the world. I'm not going to say nothing if everybody involved gave it 2 thumbs up. I don't feel like it's my place. That's the be-all and end-all in many ways. It's his road, and he decides how it's travelled. So if he's cool with it, well, I think we should all be cool with it as well. I'm not going to white knight Roman Reigns, and yet, if he's not, that does open up a whole new barrel of issues. This is not a cut and dry situation. The real fallout will be what happens going forward. I realise I'm going to sound a bit like a hypocrite here, but I don't really want the Roman Reigns things to form the heart of this feud, because I'll just find that a little bit difficult. We were already teasing it weeks ago, so we must have had some ideas. Just go with those. And yeah, once more, if Roman is fine with it, then shut my mouth. But with that said, from a comfortability point of view, it would make me feel a bit off. I said that twice. That's how uncomfortable it makes me. And yeah, I know that WWE doesn't have the best track record when it comes to these kind of situations. I'm not going to go through them individually or scenario by scenario, because if you know, you know. And probably in the future, that is something we need to come back to. This has been quite the controversial turn though, which certainly comes as a surprise because by and large most wrestling fans were looking forward to it and assumed it would really help the Dean Ambrose character. I think most people agree it was the right move, and if it does result in Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 35, potentially for the Universal title, well again as wrestling fans I think we'll lose our shit. Imagine it's in the main event too. Those two have absolutely earned that right, and if we start now in October and we build all the way to April, I bet we're all ready to explode when we finally get to see it go down. When you do take all of these points and wrap it up into a big bag, really, that's just what wrestling is, and by no means am I using that as an excuse. I just mean no matter what happens, there's always something. If nothing else, given everything that's happened over the last few days and weeks, remember that every day matters. Try and be as positive as you can, and when it comes to wrestling, maybe every now and then it's okay to sit back and just enjoy it for what it is, and if it does suck, turn it off and just go and do something else. And I get it too, I understand these subjects are hard to broach and they're hard to talk about, but as a man who does do these videos every week, it would seem amiss of me, it would seem wrong if I didn't tackle the harder subjects. We do it with everything else, we do it with injuries, we do it with booking, we do it with certain wrestlers, we do it with Vince McMahon. So when the real serious and controversial topics do pop up, well, for my money, I feel like that's even more important. Otherwise, we'd be doing a disservice to you, and we wouldn't be very balanced now, would we? That's the end. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching the Y series. And again, just so you've got my opinion right there, thrown into your world, and there's no confusion. I sit right down the middle. I understand column A and I understand column B. All I care about is the three people involved. So if Roman Reigns is all right, you know, all things aside, Seth Rollins is all right, and Dean Ambrose is all right, nothing to do with me. There we go. Did I walk off? No, I'm not. I was going to walk off. I've got too many lights around me. I'd make a big noise. I'll salute, and then everything will just cut to black.